Imagine yourself being told that the place you lived at for so many years in sacrifice would be getting demolished only for a couple of sporting events. The people of Rio, Brazil are being evicted for living on the land that the World Cup and 2016 Olympics are being taken place at. I researched many sources about this disaster, and being a sports fanatic, I found it actually appalling that by just the actions and to just build and make way of sporting events. According to the Associated Press, the government had relocated more than 15,000 families from the favelas across the country, and by the time the Olympics arrived, that more than 100,000 families could be moved. The World Cup and 2016 Olympics are affecting the lives in Rio, Brazil. I'll be talking about the evictions, how it made the people feel, and the results and outcomes. To begin, I'm going to start with the evictions caused by the World Cup and Olympics. More than 230 families have been forced out of their homes. According to the First Post, an outgoing bid to reinvigorate the area, preparing it for thousands coming to the city for the Olympic Games. Families like do Venedo, Pequeno, do Nascimento are scattered throughout the city from the uproar. The government is offering the money for their homes to the families. According to the Huffington Post, they can either accept a lump sum compensation for their house, be given an apartment in a distant housing project, or walk away with nothing. In some of Rio's real estate costs more than what the government is paying for. Some estate is $50,000 or their euros, or and the government is only offering to pay $2,300. Now that we have discussed the evictions, let us talk about how it made people feel. Some of the people turned to violence. According to Harvard International View, yet barely 2 weeks later, a violent shootout between drug gangs in Rio spiraled out of control, resulting in 14 people killed, 8 injured, and a police helicopter shot down. Rio's people are just furious about their land and community being reformed to make the new expressway that will be the main hub for the Olympics. Also making a difficult time even more difficult. According to the Global Information Network, it turns out to be a sort of emotional exile for people being relocated to different neighborhoods, moving them from their abandoning them from their roots and their proximity of their effective relationships. Rio is pushing them to the furthest limits of the city and separating them from schools, jobs, hospitals, and leaving them with no public transportation. Now that I have told you about the people of Rio's feelings, let me discuss the results and outcomes. When the Olympic Games arrive, they may need advanced security. According to the British Journal of Sociology, this article argues that this expressive dimension of security at the Games provides a window into wider issues of how authorities show they can deliver the promise of maximum security. With Rio's people being so upset about the movements and destructions of their homes during the World Cup and Olympic Games, it might need more security to enhance the players' safety. Also, healthcare can decrease and people can get sick. According to the British Medical Journal, high technology private care is available to the rich and inadequate public care to the poor. With the people living in the slums that are being destroyed and moving them to the outskirts of town away from hospitals and public transportation, if they get sick, it's harder for them to access health care and get antibiotics and vaccines. So I'm going to conclude you with my last thoughts. I've talked about evictions, how the people feel, and results and outcomes of the World Cup and Olympics that will take place in Rio, Brazil. I hope you have received more knowledge and understand a little bit of the trials that these people have been through and will be going through for the next couple of years. Would you get up and move if someone had told you that your house was being destroyed only for sporting events? How far would you go for the love of the game?